Blessings, everybody. Blessings, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that you can hear me good on YouTube and Facebook. I hope there's not a problem. This is day 2 of my timeline and in investigating my son's sudden death. We're still seeking the answers and finding truth. It's a lot to this discovery today, and I thank God for the absolute strength and to be his voice. And so those of you come in, I will catch you up. If you happen to be watching a replay, the best thing that you can do to help me right now is to get this out quicker and to the right people, that it reaches the right people, is by sharing. Share. Tag, share, tag, share, tag, share, tag, share, share. Okay. Social media is an amazing tool, and I'm going to use it to the advantage of seeking truth and justice for my late son. Today is his third year. He was laid to rest 3 years ago today. And so therefore I am continuing the journey. I have all the information that I need and that I'm gathering, that I'm, going through with a fine-tooth pen, needle, and I am searching, seeking, and discoveries are happening. And I'm grateful for the truth being revealed. This will help bring justice, right? Justice and truth. I'm grateful for the assistance that I have on the back end that is helping me. I am so grateful, right? So if you can share the broadcast, I'm going to catch you up. So if you missed yesterday broadcast, 9/29 broadcast, I basically gave you the rundown of the timeline of incident that I discovered on yesterday, as well showed you the diagram according to the San Diego Highway Patrol, who did the investigation. Okay, I have the investigation report with witness statements, and this is real. This is serious, and details matter. Like, details matter so much. And so with the details that is on this 13-page report, I have went through line by line so far, and the discoveries is discovering. Those of you are coming by way of TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, thank you so much. The best thing that you can do to help me by spreading the word is hitting the share button. If you never have hit the share button before on my broadcast, this is the time that I need your support. If you really support me, you will hit that share button. You're not coming for information. You're not coming to be a spectator. You are coming to actually help. And that is a clear indication that you're just not monitoring what I got going on in my life, that you are really interested in seeking the justice that I so deserve and my son deserves. So if you really care, if you really love, you really support me as a mother who has laid to rest a child, you will hit that share button. Thank you so much, Mocha Mama. I thank you for hitting the share button. So let me catch you up. If you missed yesterday broadcast is on YouTube, it's on Instagram, and it's on Facebook. I'm not taking it down. It is pinned to the top. So yesterday I gave you a timeline according to the information that is on this report. Nothing I've made up. This is all based on their factual report of what transpired on 9:30 at 1:50 a.m. The casualty of death report, which I have that as well, which was brought to hand delivered to me on the evening of 9:30 by two officers that serve local here in the Dallas area, who presented the casualty report to me. The casualty report, as well as the report that the Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol, stated the time of death was 1:50. The location, Vista, California, off of Highway SR 78, westbound. The traffic report was written by Jeffrey Q. Peterson, badge number 021698, who prepared the report, and it was later reviewed on October the 31st, 2022 by Chief Officer Robert Skimmett, I believe is his last name, officer badge 017780. The findings was a fatality in a major, it was reported that there was major damage done to the front and rear of the car, had to be towed. The owner of the vehicle is John, which was a fellow brother in arms. There was no violation reported other than an unsafe turn or lane change. In the diagram, which I will show you again, of what they're talking about, unsafe turn or lane change, where he struck an object, a tree stump, and then somehow hit head on in a tree. However, in the report, head-on collision is not documented on the report that I have, which I have a question about that as well. The injuries of the passenger, of course, he was the only driver. Airbag did deploy. Seatbelt was used. And according to the testimonies of his two brothers in arms, he did not display any signs of mental, emotional distress. Neither was he a participant of drug, alcohol use. Thanks be unto God. And also the toxicology report reflects such as well. On the same day, 9/30/2022, he was pronounced dead at the scene according to this document. So I got I have 3 different times of death, but that's neither here or there. He was pronounced dead on the scene at 2:11 a.m. There were 4 witnesses. Disolina Almeida, that's Diocelina. If you know her, last name Almeda. If you know her in the California region, Oceanside to be Pacific, Oceanside, California. She served on base. I don't know if she's still enlisted or not, but she was the first witness that was listed on this report. Pedro Moreno, Pedro Moreno, Morno, was the second witness. The roommate was Ning Aha. He was the third witness that was questioned, and number 4, the owner of the vehicle, which is John, was reported. Like I said, I showed you the diagram, and on the diagram, of course, hit tree stump. There was a question that I had: what caused him to run off the road? You just don't run off the road, right? And so I'm going to show you that diagram that is in this. There's 2 diagrams. There's 2 diagrams. In the diagram, if you can see this arrow, this is where allegedly he was. And he just in the far right lane, this is the shoulder. And he veers off, hits this stump, and then head on in a tree. You see that? Scientifically, I don't know how that is even possible. When allegedly on the second diagram, which is very contradictory to the first, it shows him hitting the stump, somehow hitting the tree, spinning off, and then the car landing hitting the embankment. This is the embankment. It is a concrete embankment, is what they said he ended up finally landing into. Okay, and so that was yesterday's discovery. Then I turned the page, and the statements of facts, which is listed, it says factual diagram, ledge description, and in this they said it's factual. They reported that dispatch, the Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol, received a phone call on September the 29th at 1:50, stating, reporting the report. The officer who made this report said he arrived on the scene at 2:32 a.m., where he was then pronounced dead, which was the third time. It was 1:50, then it's 2:11, and then it's 2:32 when he actually shows up on the scene. I don't know. I thought the coroner had to be the one to pronounce you dead, but apparently a firefighter and a paramedics and the police officer, which they all have 3 different times, and I don't know why. But the conditions of the road were good. There was no debris, nothing in the roadway. There was no obstruction or contaminants in the road. So my question was yesterday, why would he just run off the road? Like, what? There was no animal, no, nothing. It just, let me just go make a right-hand turn and go into hit a tree stump, then spin off, hit a tree, and then end up into a concrete embankment. Makes absolutely no sense to me. But here is today's findings, which I said that I will be discussing about the witness statements. And I'm giving 2 of the 4 witness statements. And then as I continue to sift through the other 2 statements, it may be tomorrow or the day after where I come back and give more information on that report. But here we are, new findings. So I Googled the latitude and longitude of the coordinates that are on this report. Absolutely nothing shows up. And I'm making this because the location of the accident, it is very, very critical to witness 3 and witness 4 statement that they gave. And so that's why the new findings of today is all about the location of the accident and how it conflicts with the 2 witness statements that I will talk about on another live, not this live. But I do want to highlight that I did do the coordinate research. Nothing absolutely showed up. And so then I Googled based on the, instead of using the longitude, latitude coordinates of the location, I then used the highway, and I said from this highway to the Camp Pendleton, which was the base that he was actually headed back to, what is the distance between the 2 points? And the distance between the 2 points of where the time of accident ended up being and him getting back to base is 12 miles, which was approximately 22 minutes from the post from driving. Thank you so much, sis. If you're watching by way of YouTube, please hit the share button as many times as you can. If you're watching on Facebook, please share it to all your platforms. This would definitely help me get the word out and get to the right people that can help me further go deeper and get the justice that I am seeking for my son. So I did the destination of the location of accident versus where he was trying to go to, which is back to post in a friend's vehicle. And the location is 12 miles, exactly 12 miles from post to accident, point of accident. Okay, that is very, very critical in the witness statement. If you are a practicing attorney, legal practicing attorney, and you do pro bono, because I'm telling you, I have an absolute case against the city of Oceanside, California Police Department. I absolutely have a case, and it's undeniable that I would definitely win. And we're not going small, we going big. I want to own the city of Oceanside Police Department. I want to be the new chief of police. Yeah. They have fragmented and messed up. And I know my son's case is not the only case. And that's why I'm grateful that God has given me a voice to speak, not only for myself, but for those who have not spoken and still have questions about their deceased loved one who was involved in a single car accident that happened to be military related. Okay. And so now we have that discovery. So according to Officer Jeffrey Q. Pedersen, he states that Quaylen was pronounced dead at the time of his arrival, which was 2:32 a.m. Dispatch was called at 1:50 a.m. And according to this document, there were no prior medical defects to the car that would cause it to run off the road. Like there wasn't brake problems, power steering problems, no mechanical malfunctions, right? And so what I did find interesting about this is, according to their statement, the highway, it never says that 911 was called. It clearly states that California Highway Patrol was called at the time of accident by witness 3 and by witness 4, which is another key thing I want to highlight on this broadcast and to my findings as well. And it will make plenty of sense as we put it together, as we go forward. I promise you, you will begin to connect the dots with me, right? And so the paramedics arrived and pronounced the time of death at 2:11 on September the 29th. If you've been following me, you have heard 2 different days, 2 different times. 2 different days, 3 different times. So was he pronounced dead on which 2 times? It was, 2 different days, 2 different time, 2 different days, 3 different times was he reported, the accident was reported, and he was pronounced dead. On the original report, which is documented for 9:30, at the bottom of this report, it states on 9:30, right? 9:30, which was September the 30th, 2022, which when this report was generated, that he was involved in a fatal car accident approximately 1:50 a.m. in the morning. However, when you go to the factual statements described, it says on September the 29th, approximately 1:50 a.m., a radio call from the California Highway Patrol dispatch of a solo vehicle traffic collision with an ambulance responding. So he was pronounced dead on the 29th of September by the firefighter paramedic R. Oat Sue. So did he pass on the 30th or did he pass on the 29th? And the parents were notified on the 30th. So it took you a day to get your stories together. Which one? Very, very critical to this case. For those of you coming in, please share. Please hit the share button to help spread the word. And thank you so very much. Now I'm going to the first 2 witness testimonies. This is for the first 24 hours prior to my son passing away. This is the statement of accounts from the first 2 witnesses that Officer Jeffrey spoke to, which was witness number one was the owner of the vehicle, John, and number 2 witness is the witness of the roommate, number 2, and his name is Noon, It's like NGWE. And so he was the witness that states that is listed. I'm sorry, witness 3 and 4. 1 and 2 actually are the other two that I'm going to talk about. So scratch the witness 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. Witness 3 and 4, which witness number 3 is the owner of the vehicle, John, and witness 4 is the roommate, Nui or something like that, NGWE. And it says on the 29th at 4 p.m., Quaylen got off of work and met up with roommate number 4. And roommate number 4 said that he was gonna, he told roommate number 4, Mitchell did, my son, told roommate number 4 that he was going to borrow his friend's car, which is witness number 3, car to go to his girlfriend's house. Well, who is the girlfriend? We've never heard of a girlfriend. There is no history of a girlfriend that his brothers even know about. His father knew about. Like, who is this girl? Nobody knows who this girl is. Even the witnesses, the roommates, states in their report that they don't know who this girl is. But they told the police that my son told them that he was borrowing witness number 3 car to go to a girlfriend's house, and nobody knows the girlfriend, right? Okay, let's continue. It says he was excited because he had just got his driver's license. And I'm going to put a note there. He had got his driver's license on September the 23rd. So he hadn't even had his license a week, and he ends up dead. Okay, very key, very key. It states that Mitchell called witness number 3, John, at 4:30. And once again, nobody knows who the girlfriend is, and asked about borrowing his car to go. And allegedly, it doesn't say that roommate number 3 agreed, right? It doesn't say he said yes or no. As we are further reading the timeline, it says number 4, which is the roommate, dropped his car off to Mitchell, which is my son, to go to his girlfriend's house approximately 4:50. So another error in this finding is, did he use vehicle number 3 of John, or did he use vehicle number 4? The stories are conflicting, and they're not adding up if this is truth. If this is supposed to be factual and testimony, right, and not fabricated, right? Why would number 4 claim and tell Officer Jeffrey that he dropped his vehicle off to Mitchell at approximately 4:50? Why wouldn't the witness, much less witness number 3, John, the alleged owner of the vehicle, why wouldn't he tell the police that I dropped my car off to him at this particular time? Why did witness 4 says he dropped his car off to Mitchell at approximately 4:50, and they spoke briefly before his departure, and that was the last time witness number 4 saw Mitchell? What happened to John? Did he not see or hear from Quaylen from 4:50, 4:30 until wee hours in the morning? You're not concerned about your car. You don't have anywhere else to go. This is a Friday. You have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nowhere to meet. You're not concerned about your vehicle. How many times did you call Mitchell from the time that you last spoke to him, witness number 3, which was supposed to be the alleged owner, but it's conflicting because now the report is saying witness 4, which is the roommate, gave his car to Quaylen at approximately 4:50. So John, there is no more statements from witness number 3, which is supposed to be the alleged owner of this 2014 Toyota. There is no more statements from John. John taps out, don't want to talk to Officer Jeffrey anymore, right? Okay, very, very, very suspicious, very suspect. Very suspect. But on the accident report, it is listed that the owner of the vehicle is in fact witness number 3. Let's continue. So, my question that I had, where did John go? Where did John go? If you can, please share the broadcast. If you're watching, please share the broadcast. I'm trying to get as much traction as possible. If you're watching by way of Facebook, if you're watching by way of YouTube, if you're watching by way of TikTok, thank you so very much. I'm going to later share it to Instagram, where Instagram can share the broadcast as well. Thank you so much. I love you too. So let's continue with the findings for today, and then I'm going to conclude, and then we're going to pick back up another day when I get done fine-tooth combing the statements. So my question was, where did witness number 3 go? Why did Officer Jeffrey stop inquiring of witness number 3 when witness number 3 is the owner of the alleged vehicle that my son got in, and not witness number 4? When was the last time the witness 3, which is John, the owner of the vehicle, last speak to Mitchell? On the day of September the 29th, according to them, or September the 30th. Which day is it? Is it the 30th or is it the 29th? Let's continue. Number 3 and number 4 testifies on this document to Officer Jeffrey that Mitchell showed no signs or indication that he was a threat to unaliving himself, or did he participate in drug alcohol use at any given time. In his he seemed to be mental and emotional stable, according to their testimony. So, however, on October the 4th, 2022, Officer Jeffrey states that he contacts the medical examiner's office at 11:43 p.m. Now, normal business hours for medical examiner office are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Unless there is some question that you have about the investigation. And what the officer stated that he was calling to ask was about if they happen to find anything in his toxicology report, and stated if there was anything found in outside of what the witness states, that he was not intoxicated, he was not under the influence of drugs, and he was not suicidal, then it will be attached to the final report. And it's not attached to this final report because it was indeed found that there was no drugs in his system, no alcohol in his system, and he did not display signs on his brain that he was in mental or emotional distress. So why would a freshly 21-year-old who is thriving in life, right, on their way to have a full ride scholarship to Southern California University, which is a private university, on an athletic scholarship, run off the road? Why would a perfectly healthy 21-year-old African-American male decide to run off the road, and he had just 2 weeks prior put in to become a sharpshooter for the United States Marines? And according to the captain's testimony, he would definitely be in one of the 1% who would actually made it. It's a lot of things that are very, very questionable around my son's death, which is why I'm speaking about it. God has given me the strength and the heart and the grace, and I'm grateful. If I did not know God, I'm telling you, if I did not know God, I wouldn't be able to do this. If I did not know him, if I was not in real relationship, the peace that I have, I would not have it. But I'm strong enough, and I've been graced enough and strengthened enough to seek truth for the dead. And it's not only about my son. Once again, I'm not the only mother who have had to lay her child to rest, who child went to serve in the United States military, period. And they get the report of their child being found dead in a single car accident, and the questions have not been answered. I'm just someone who has been a spokesman and someone who is willing to speak out of what is really going on with our young Black minority boys. There is tens of thousands of reports, decades of reports of unresolved questions about their children or child being involved in a solo car accident, and their child was perfectly fine. There was no signs of distress, and all of a sudden they're not here anymore. It is unacceptable, and I am demanding answers, and I'm demanding justice. So if you happen to know the first two witnesses, once again, their names is John Noon, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. John. Last name is Nguyen. And witness number 4 name is Ngwe Noon, How, HLA. And witness number 2 names is, witness number 1 is Dosalina Aminda and Pedro Moreno. They both served in the United States Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton. And I don't know if their time is already up yet, or did they extend their time of service, or did they complete their mission? I have no clue. If you have any information that can help us with the findings and getting more clarity on what actually transpired and took place, I would appreciate your assistance. Once again, if you're if you're an attorney and you have experience in this, I have all the documents that you need seeking the information and justice that I am deserving, and I'm definitely more than assured that I have a case. And so if you're willing to do pro bono, I would definitely appreciate it. Unfortunately, I didn't inherit the $500,000. Otherwise, I would have paid for an attorney to seek justice and get the answers. However, that's neither here nor there. What's relevant now is that I get truth and justice is served. And those who are responsible for his death are held accountable to the fullest extent of law. And I won't stop until the answer is in my hand. Thank y'all so much, and I appreciate you. I'm his mother, Gwendolyn Yarba. Today is his third year of being laid to rest, and I know he's resting in the arms of our Savior, and I'm so grateful that he knew him. However, I am no spokesperson for him since he no longer has a voice. I appreciate if you, once again, share it as many times as you can. Share it to the right people. Share it share it with someone that you know that has the answer or can help get us closer to the answer. Thank you so very much.